No cold open today. I want Shane to say what he just said beforehand. My new nickname.
Professor Nooble McGoogle.
Happy Tuesday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show presented by Branded Bills. Make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use code BDPHNX for 15% off your first order. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always by the one, the only old dog legs. Of course, we've got the deli man behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Parker Allen in the chat, Ghost Rouser Days until kickoff. M in here, Lee Corso as well, and Seth with maybe the comment of the century. So close to game day, I can taste it. Rubus, my question then to you is, what does game day taste like?
Victory.
What does victory taste like?
Game day.
Fried chicken.
Oh, dude, I want fried chicken so bad.
See, but you want
So
game day
bad.
so bad.
I do.
Maybe it does.
Ooh, what do I
taste
want
like
more, fried chicken or game day?
If it came down to it, I would like if you had to make the decision and you chose wrong, I'd kill you.
The answer's fried chicken.
Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely. It's
I'm just
definitely-
kidding.
Come on. now.
No, it's
Come
game
on,
day.
man.
It's always game day. We're almost there. We're
We
so
are.
close.
This
We are
tastes
almost
like,
a game day.
This game day will taste like a bucket of spaghetti.
A good bucket of spaghetti.
Yeah.
I'm here with
Have
that.
you guys ever had the bucket of spaghetti?
I've never had a
Spaghetti
bucket.
bucket?
Of,
No.
I've
It's
never
good.
had a bucket of
Is it?
spaghetti.
Yeah.
Where do you get
In
a?
Flagstaff. That's why I said it.
It's a bucket of spaghetti.
Bucket of spaghetti.
Oh.
Is it like a normal sized bowl of spaghetti,
No,
or is
it's
it?
a bucket of spaghetti.
It's like when they say bucket, they mean bucket.
Yeah, like it's. What do you think of when you think of a bucket?
I think of a bigger bowl, like a bowl times 3.5.
Actually, I think
3.5.
that's in Payson.
Ooh.
Mm.
You
I think
screwed up.
I think they open up something like that in Tempe though.
Bucket
I think
of
there's
spaghetti?
bucket spaghetti in Tempe.
No, that's. I mean,
It's like a KFC bucket of spaghetti.
wow. That
Yeah.
is a
That's a
bucket.
lot of
That's
spaghetti.
a bucket of spaghetti.
That is without a doubt. That is a bucket of spaghetti.
My goodness. Look, enough spaghetti talk. Practice was
What? Dog?
Spaghetti.
spaghetti. No more
Spaghetti.
spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Thanks,
Yeah.
Seth.
Yeah, no more spaghetti talk. Yeah, practice today.
Bucket
This is
of
actually
spaghetti.
the last practice that I'll be going to before game day. Won't be going tomorrow because we'll have a special guest
Ooh.
that we will tell y'all a little bit later on in today's show. If you're a PHNX diehard and you haven't seen it in the Discord, go check that out. We've also got some sound from Jordyn, Tyson, Ben Coleman, Xavion Alford that we're going to get to as the show moves on. We've also got some sound from some of the NAU captains on their thoughts on this upcoming game against Arizona State. But Rubus, first and foremost, kind of everything that we saw at practice today. You heard it last week, or I guess at the tail end of last week, that Ben Coleman was going to be starting at center. That is the case. Ben Coleman at center, Jameto Abigbo at left guard. You have Josh Atkins at left tackle, Kyle Scott at right guard, and Max Ahanachor at right tackle. The offensive line is set. Your starting wideouts look like they're going to be Jordyn, Tyson, Jalen Moss, and Malik McLean.
My guy.
But with that said, some interesting rotations today at some positions that like you'd expect the Sun Devils to maybe experiment with because they have like that kind of depth. But it did surprise me to see Derek Eusebio running with the ones at a certain point today. Jaron Hamilton obviously in there. You're going to see Kamari. You're going to see Cameron Harpool. The wide receiver and pass catching rooms, you are going to see a healthy rotation of. So I was a little surprised to see Eusebio out there today.
Eusebio with the ones is certainly something.
Yeah, just rotating it.
Yeah,
nothing-
but still, I think that also might be a week one thing.
Maybe.
As far as like, hey, we're playing NAU. Like Eusebio, you're probably going to play a lot more this week than you are in like the later weeks. But maybe it's a, hey, we're gonna give you the reins, at least and a little bit of the reins in this game. And if you continue to make plays, we'll give you a little bit against Mississippi State. And if you continue to make plays, we'll do it against Texas State. And it's like,
And then you get a bucket of spaghetti.
and you get a bucket of spaghetti. And if he continues to make plays, which is something that he seemingly does all the time, you can't keep him off the field, even with all the talent that we talked about in the wide receiver positional breakdown, which is up on our channel right now, where it's like you have so many different types of players and different types of wide receivers. Just a true playmaker, a guy that's like, how did he just get 6 yards there? How did he catch that? He's not supposed to be doing that. Feels like almost all great teams has just like one of those guys.
I think you're gonna see Derek Eusebio a good chunk this season, to be honest with you. I don't think it's just the NAU game. Akeem Lineu, somebody that was transferred over the offseason to ASU, he's running with the scout team, so don't expect to see Akeem pretty much this entire season. I would imagine the same goes on the defense side of the ball with Joshua Shanklin working with scout team, so don't expect to see him at least versus NAU, but probably the majority of the year as well. But Eusebio and Jalen Moss and Jaron Hamilton and Malik McClain and Jordyn Tyson, like you will have a healthy 5 to 6 guys rotating in and out at wide receiver. I think that'll be awesome to see. Just again, a much deeper room this year than what you had in 2024. Again, no disrespect to Xavier Guillory, Melquan Stovall, Troy O'Mary, some of those guys. This is just a different room. The same goes at the running back position, right? Kenny talked about it yesterday of like who's going to be the first back out there. Well, they still don't know, but it could be Tyson Brown. It could be Raleek Brown. And regardless of who's going out there first, I guarantee you get to the red zone, you're probably going to see a lot of Kanye Udoh. I'm going to go out there on a limb here, and this is a total guess. I think Kanye Udoh has the most touchdowns of any offensive player in 2025. I think
more than Sam.
Do you? Well, no.
Well,
no.
I'm not counting.
You're not counting. Okay,
Do you think so you think he's the short yardage guy?
He is the short yardage goal line guy.
Interesting.
He is big, and they love when he's in the game. They love 13 personnel.
That is so fun to hear.
And that's like I was
how gross you're going to get in 13 personnel on like 1st and 5. Like Kenny's going to be licking his chops. He can do whatever he wants.
Well, and I think like
end around pass.
Going back to the offseason and like pinpointing specific guys that this team added. They got a guy in Kamari Anderson at tight end that's got great size, but also is quicker than maybe you would think, right? They went and got a 1,000-yard, 10-touchdown guy in Kanye Udoh, who's a big body running back. Why'd they do that, though? It's the Brian Windhorst thing. It was like, but why? But why did Kenny do this when you have Raleek Brown, you have Jason Brown, you have Kyson Brown, like you have all these running backs already that in theory you're like, okay, it's their turn to take over. Well, where was Arizona State maybe not very efficient last year? It was the red zone. It was maybe those short yarded situations where it's like we're goal to go and we need points. Okay. So they bring in these giant tight ends that are not just blockers, but you know, they can also catch the ball. They're skill guys. So you've got all of what you need to run 13 personnel. And then it's like, yeah, we're at the 5-yard line. I'm going to go ahead and give it to our 6 foot, 220-pound back in the backfield. I'll give it to him 3 times with 3 tight ends there. And oh yeah, if you want to load the box, well, we've got maybe the 2nd or 3rd best wide receiver in college football by himself on the outside. Like, you're just not going to be able to defend that. And if you are, then you're probably one of the best teams in college football.
Well, and then you also have Sam Levitt, who, yeah, he could throw the ball, but also he could run it in himself, and he is definitely not afraid to run it in. If you have 2 backs out there, right, you have a speed guy that could beat you on the outside. I mean, you kind of have a mix of it both with Kyson, and then, yeah, Kanye is going to just run you over. Like, you really do have just a little bit of everything. And that is kind of like the mantra of this offense and why I think it's going to be so hard even as the season goes on, even as there's more film and more tape on this offense and on Sam Levitt and on Jordyn Tyson and Shaman and Kanye Kyson, Raleek, all of them, there are so many other different options, and let alone with that, great coaches who are going to know that they need to change how they use them and are probably already planning on, okay, you know, first couple of weeks we'll do this with them, but we'll keep this in our back pocket for later, and then we'll pull this out, and then we'll kind of hit them with the counterpunch. You just have options, and options is what good teams have. Last year, you did have options, for sure. But did you have as many? No. Did you maybe have like the one ultimate option in Cam Scadaboo? For sure.
Yeah.
But you have so many more, a plethora of options this season. And I think against NAU, it's like, oh, is one guy going to have 5 touchdowns? I don't know. I think the wealth is going to be spread around a lot based off of playing time, but also like effectiveness in this game.
Yeah, 100%. And that's just offensively, you're going to see some different things. Defensively, like who are a couple of the guys defensively that you would expect to be out there first drive? No doubts, they're running with the ones.
X.
Okay.
CJ.
Yeah.
Keyshawn. Kingaika. Keith, Javen.
I mean, we're talking the whole defense.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, minus your nickel, like where you can't really put in a stamp.
Now today, your starters on defense on the ones, and I say starters loosely because we know how much rotation there's going to be. Your starters in the back end were Xavion Alford, Miles Rouser. Your corners were, of course, Keith Abney and Javen Robinson. Your nickel at one point was Montana Warren. Then they moved on to a different period, came back to team. Then it was Kendrick Breedlove. So you're going to see both of them. Your linebackers were Crook and Keyshawn. I don't think that's going to change, at least to start the game. You will see Crew Jackson. You will see Tate Romney. You will see Cyrus Fiaseu. And then your defensive line was Justin Watley, CJ Fight, Jacob Kingaika, and Elijah O'Neal. That was your starting 4 up front. And then, of course, you had a rotation of Clayton Smith, Prince Dorba. But I was interested that it was like an Elijah O'Neal, Justin Watley kind of edge rushing duo to go out there off rip. I wonder how much of that is going to be like we feel more confident in these guys in run defense, and we want to keep Clayton and Prince maybe a little more fresh for those like obvious passing downs where they could just kind of pin their ears back and go. Like, I think you now, because of the competitive depth, we talk about the 2s and the 3s and what that means for this team. I think schematically and situationally, you're going to see some different guys, which I think is going to make a drastic impact for Arizona State this season. Being able to have, if we want Elijah O'Neal and Justin Watley to be out there on 1st and 10, 2nd and 10, and then, hey, Prince and Clayton, we need you for 1 down. Go get a sack. We're going to throw a blitz out there, or we're just going to let you 4 go. Like, I think being able to keep those guys fresh is going to be huge. I think defensively being able to rotate in Montana Warren and Kendrick Breedlove, I think that is going to be, honestly, a pretty special nickel corner duo that they have. We know what they have in the safeties in the back end. And then offensively, like we talked about, like the rotations, like this team is... It's all coming together, man, and it looks damn good with just 4 days till kickoff.
God, I'd hope so.
Yeah.
The number 11 team in the country.
Yeah.
They better look good. They better look dominant. I am curious to see next week if how much change you're saying that there is in the ones and who's running with who. And I do wonder if maybe even the weeks following that, as the opponents go up in difficulty and the games go up in importance, if it becomes a little bit more consistent, a little bit more how we project the depth chart to be. It's like, I don't want to say that this game doesn't matter, because obviously it does, but it is Northern Arizona University. It is the lowest stakes game that you're going to be playing, minus the fact that it's your first game at home as a number 11 ranked team in the country. Your real opponent this weekend is yourself. And again, NAU, if I was an NAU fan, if I was covering NAU, it's like you would feel like the same way. It's not like we're talking down to a Big 12 opponent, right? And I think even playing like Mississippi State next week, it's like, yeah, you're a bottom of the barrel SEC team.
Game matters, though, a lot more.
But yeah, you're on the road and you're still an SEC team, right? Like this is the game that you are paying NAU to play, right? This is your Troy. This is your, like...
This team is worse than Troy.
This is your Lindenwood.
Yeah.
Right? And again, for where they are and for who they play in their conference and their competition, they're a well-coached team with a lot of talent who's good. But there's a reason why NAU is not on a Power 4 level.
Yeah.
Right? And so, not that ASU is not taking them seriously, but I think taking NAU seriously is a different type of preparation than Mississippi State, even than Texas State, and then clearly Baylor and TCU and Utah and so on and so forth.
But do we think that, like, just because it's us, Or do we think that is the way that they're approaching it? Because like I would almost be concerned if that was the way that the team was approaching it, of it's like, okay, next week we got to prepare a little differently, right? Because like this goes back to what Dilly said yesterday about every Monday's got to be the best Monday in program history. Like this team, if they're following that mantra, should be practicing just as hard as they were during the college football playoff, right? That's what this like preparation should be, regardless of them playing NAU or Troy or Texas Tech or Baylor or Iowa State. Like this preparation needs to be to that same level. And then next week, I don't care if it's Mississippi State. You got to take it to a new level, right? Continuing to push the boundaries of what you think you're capable of doing each and every week. And I think, again, like I almost feel bad for NAU in a sense, because part of what comes with having so many returners is all of these guys were on the field last year when Sam threw that pick.
Yeah.
And that was it, when that was your season. And there's like a little bit of get back that you still have to go out there and deliver. Like regardless of who you're playing, like there is a lot for these guys to leave on the field, I think, on Saturday. And just talking to some of these guys, I know we'll get into the sound later, like they're ready, dude. They're ready to hit somebody that isn't wearing maroon and gold, and NAU is just the unfortunate team that is going to be on the other side of the field on Saturday.
Maybe it's not like a lack of preparation in the sense that they're taking NAU lightly, but more that they've also had an entire spring and fall camp and all of that, and now it's like, okay, well, we've practiced everything. It's like it's a little bit different than, hey, you have a week to get ready for this game. They've had 6+ months to get ready for this game. So it's just like, I don't know. And I guess we'll see. Like, we're going to get an answer to this, but it's like Derek Eusebio running with the ones or working in and out of the ones. Is that going to be happening when you're playing Iowa State on the road?
Yeah, I think it will be.
Do you think so?
I honestly think it will be. I think, like, again, like my issue is not so much that, like, you say they've had 6 months to get ready for the game, but that's not necessarily true. They've been, for 6 months, they haven't been working on NAU.
Sure.
Right? They've been working on their own, like, playbooks, their own schemes, their own conditioning, their own position battles. Like it wasn't until like this week where it's like, okay, we are investing time and energy into prep, like legit preparation for another opponent, because of the way that this team like functions with the mentality of like, we're just going to work on us and get better every single day. Like now it is like a full, okay, you've got 5-6 days to prep for NAU. You have Sunday off, boom. Depending on who you are, like the coaches are probably going to get ready for Mississippi State like Sunday morning, if not Saturday evening. And then you move on and you get another 5-6 days. And that's the way it goes. So like, I don't think that this team, I wouldn't say it's fair to say that they've had 6 months to prepare for this game. So they're going to take their foot off the gas this week because they've had so long.
Oh, I'm not saying they're taking their foot off the gas. I'm not saying that at all. I think they're still keeping their foot on the gas. I just maybe think they're experimenting a little bit more. And I don't know. I guess
one of us, we could, like, I could be wrong. You know what I mean? I just think, again, based off of the way that they're going out there and practicing with very specific personnel today, like if Derek Eusebio wasn't going to be a factor, then he wouldn't be getting valuable reps with the ones when you could be having somebody else in there.
Sure.
Like regardless of it being NAU or whoever.
Sure.
Right?
I mean, I think it'll be interesting, and I think Glenn also says like the score will reflect if they overlooked them. And I have such faith in this coaching staff and the players as well, and talking to them and seeing them work and everything, where it's like I don't think that they're gonna go into Saturday thinking that they can just go 25% and get a win, even though like realistically they probably could. Like they're gonna go 110%.
Yeah.
They're going to give it their all because they also like they want to make a statement. Right? Like I've talked to these guys, like they want to demolish NAU, right? They want to start the season off the right way. And I think they also understand like it's different this year. Well, you want to say expectations aren't real and whatever the media has to say, blah, 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 blah. You walk into the season as the number 11 team in the country. You walk into the season with realistic college football playoff aspirations. Every single week, you should be dominant. Yeah. Right? And is it going to happen? No. There's going to be a game where they're tested. They're going to be down 2 touchdowns in a game, right? They're going to be down early. They're going to be down late. They're going to have to come back and win. Like, but that shouldn't be this week.
Yeah.
Like, you should take them seriously, but also understand that if you take them seriously, there should be a 0.0% chance that NAU walks away with a victory.
Yeah.
And I think that their pride is going to help drive them in the fact where it's like, there are teams almost every single year where it's like, holy crap, how did that team A either almost beat you or B beat you? Abilene Christian, NAU last year with U of A. Like, how did that happen? I know that ASU does not want to be that team. And that means that they have to show up and not take their foot off the gas.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. Look, we've got a ton of sound to get to. Also have a sort of question of the day that we're going to get to on the other side of this quick break. Of course, kickoff is just 4 days away. So if you guys are anything like me, then you're definitely still looking for some gear to head out to Mountain America Stadium, especially if you're a Sun Devil fan or even if you're an Arizona Cardinals fan and you're just a couple of weeks away till they start the NFL season. Well, don't look any further. We've got the place for you when it comes to merch and gear. Rally House, the go-to spot to shop for all your favorite local Arizona team gear with tens of thousands of products to shop from. Now, of course, there's some companies out there that say, we've got thousands, we've got hundreds of products, and well, you go check them out and they're lying. That is not the case when it comes to Rally House. You go check out their website, you type in a team, specifically, I typed in Arizona State. You have over 100 different pages of Arizona State merch, of cups, of all sorts of memorabilia, things that you can have to enhance the fan experience. Find your local Rally House location and shop their entire product assortment online at rallyhouse.com today.
I'm wearing a Brandon Bills hat. I always wear Brandon Bills hats.
Boom.
I mean, listen, Brandon Bills hats, they don't need me to read this ad because they really sell themselves. You wear them once and you never want to take it off.
That's fact.
You could shower in it. You could sleep in it. You can tailgate in it. You can do everything in a Brandon Bills hat. They have you covered with performance and style. It's not just the fact that it feels good and that it's breathable. The fabric is very high quality. Even the logo and what it's made out of, there's no wearing down. There's no stitches coming out. None of that. But it looks good, too. I've got a different Brandon Bills hat for like every single different type of fit that I have. And they have partnerships with ASU and 40 other universities. They also partner with the PHNX Suns. They're a local company out of Mesa, and they want to partner with you and help you get your local custom gear as well. Head to BrandonBills.com. Use code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order.
Monsoon wants to see your Brandon Bills hat. If you can go ahead and turn that one around. That's not the only logo they have.
Oh, no.
They've got like a Sun Angel one, too.
Dude, the Sun Angel one is so sick. Yeah. You know what my favorite one is the
you got it.
The I'm trying to think of the word, the cursive writing they have.
I haven't even seen that one.
Sweet.
They have so many different options. Very cool. Like that's what's
Sorry, I just brain farted.
Awesome.
Before we get to your question of the day, I wanted to bring something up while you were talking about the wide receivers.
Yes.
How many pass catchers, like tight end wide receivers, caught more than 20 balls for ASU last year?
Tyson.
Stat.
X.
No, Pat, not running back, just tight ends.
Or just tight ends.
Tyson X because of the end of the season.
I would say 3. I would say it's Shaman, Tyson, and X were the only 3.
Melquan actually caught 24.
Wow.
But for very minimal yardage. You only had 4 guys catch 20 plus balls last year. How many do you expect to catch 20 plus balls this year?
Jordyn.
Again, like running backs aside, because obviously Scat
had
45 receptions.
Jordyn, Shaman, Moss, McLean, Hamilton.
It sure feels like you'll have a lot more.
It feels like you'll have more.
Especially more
Monsoon
impactful
6.
ones.
I think you definitely get 2 tight ends in there. Yeah. I think you definitely get Kamari. I think Kamari will probably be on the cusp of, if it's not over 20, it's right around 20. Shaman will definitely go over in the wide receiver room. Tyson and Moss for sure are locks on that.
So I guess 20 plus is a bad barometer because 20 is a lot of catches. Like it's a lot of receptions if you're not
you're spreading the ball out.
Top 3 receiver on the team. But I guess more to my point is if you look at the reception numbers from last year, it's not just like there's nobody else after 24. It's the fact that like they're not even close.
Yeah.
So the next person underneath Melquan is Kyson Brown, who had 13. And then pass catching wise, 6, 2, 1, and 5.
See, I don't know how many more receivers you have at the I think in reality you probably are talking 2 wide receivers. I'd say 3 wide outs over either 20 or more. And probably 1 tight end and another one really close. I think you're going to have a lot more wideouts at that 13 to 15 range, though.
Exactly. There's going to be so many more passing attempts this year.
Yeah.
Well,
like so many more.
And receptions aren't all created equal either. Like there's going to be more effective ones, right? You might have 17 receptions from Malik McClain, and they might be way more impactful than the 24 from Melquan Stovall last year. And I love Melquan, and he came up with some big plays at the end of the season, right, when he was needed. But 24 shocked me, right? You could have Jaron Hamilton who could get 15, but average like 25 per reception, right? Like you never really know how impactful somebody's going to be and how much they're going to be used. It could be like Eusebio, right? Like Eusebio might have 10 to 15, but they're big plays in big moments, right? It doesn't just mean that the quantity of them means that you're going to have a quality of impact, right? And so I think with that wealth being spread out, with Sam being better, and with a plethora of different weapons, I would be shocked if there's more than 6 individual players with 20 or more like receptions.
That would be ridiculous.
But if there's 7 to 9 players who are legitimately impactful in the passing game, that wouldn't shock me.
No, and I know we removed running backs from that conversation, but how many receptions did Cam Scadaboo have last year that are now available to spread out? Not
45.
only 45. You're spreading out 45 receptions now to the running back room and to tight ends and wide receivers, and I think that'll be split up a little bit more evenly.
This gap is also going to be way less drastic between Jordyn Tyson and Xavier Guillory, who was your second leading receiver in terms of receptions last year. How many receptions are in between them?
How many receptions are between Xavier Guillory and Jordyn Tyson? Last year, I am going to say 54.
46.
You're a great guesser. 53.
Damn, one off again.
53 receptions. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
You should be getting your best players the ball, but it's not going to be anywhere close to that this year.
Yeah. No, it shouldn't be. And if it is, there's a problem. Like you said, there is certainly going to be a lot more room to throw the football this year. I think when we're talking about Arizona State, quote unquote, throwing the ball more, what does that look like?
Or excuse me, that was receiver. Tight end, Shimon had 32, but that's still 33.
Yeah.
Or 43. That's
between
ridiculous.
Shimon and Tyson. Yeah, that's still pretty ridiculous. I think you're going to see Arizona State throw the ball a little bit more on early downs, which Kenny has talked about, as opposed to just it's 1st and 10, we're going to run the rock. Now, I think they are still like, if you know Kenny Dillingham's like offensive philosophy and what he's done as a play caller in his career, like they are going to run the football and they're going to run the football efficiently. Like that's what they do. But I think there is going to be more opportunity for this offense on 1st and 10 on the 30 to go air it out and throw the football and try and gain some yardage there. And Kenny said it yesterday, the one thing that this team was really lacking last year was explosive plays. Right, we're one-shotting them. We're going 75 yards, and there's a house call. Like, I think that is something that you are going to see, especially through the first 3 weeks of this season, is Arizona State is going to take some shots this year. I think the way that they've designed some of their plays this year is going to be different to try and allow some of these new like skill players some open field to work with. So with that said, I think there is a world where we're looking, and maybe it's not us, but it's the fan base at a certain point where we're looking at Sam Levitt's statistics or his numbers, and I think his touchdowns are going to be inflated this year. But I also think his INTs are going to be inflated slightly this year. And I don't think that's necessarily because he's throwing bad passes. I think that's because this offense is simply going to take more chances in 2025 to try and push the football downfield to open up the rest of the offense. Now, Sam, again, like he took great care of the football last year. Kenny and Marcus harp on that all the time. Take care of the football. You don't want to give extra opportunities to the opposition. But I think there is going to be a little bit potentially of a give and take this year. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe Sam just throws 40 touchdowns and the INTs stay the same.
I mean, but if he does, then
we're talking about the best quarterback in college football.
Which is on the table, but also like it's usage, right? And if you're going to throw a lot more passes, which we expect him to do,
I don't know if a lot more passes is a thing, though.
Okay, so he threw 216 passes last year.
216?
Yeah.
And that's missing
sorry, 350, excuse me.
350.
I was like, he's going to throw a lot more than that.
350, I think like we're talking like 380.
And in comparison, Quinn Ewers threw 445.
I do not see
Will
a world
Howard
where
threw 423.
he's not throwing 400 passes.
I don't think so either. But
He's close.
Well, again, like let's just go back to what Kenny has done in the past. What did Bo Nix throw that final year at Oregon?
But they're not the same.
What do you mean they're not?
Here,
I know they're not the same quarterback. They're not the same quarterback, but like in terms of like the systems.
Bo Nix is in 2022 he threw 294 passes. No, he threw 409 passes, and in 2023 he threw 470. So
damn,
yeah.
I think Sam gets close to 400.
But again, Bo Nix is a completely different player. Bo Nix, his whole thing every night it would be he's throwing 50 passes. Like it was ridiculous.
It was so gross the way they used him,
especially in that offense. I will say, like Leavitt's going to be much more closer to the mean this year. And like you look at some of these, and going back to the reception talk, if we're talking about the Longhorns or we're talking about Ohio State's different because that's, Will Howard, dink and dunk city. Like I think Texas can be a little more comparable. Obviously, way higher top end talent in the receiver room. But let's take away the running backs in this, in this reception talk. Their top receivers 60, 58. 39, 34, 29, 23. All of those are receivers and tight ends. Yeah. So, like, I think there's a world where you utilize your depth a lot more, and there is a world where guys like Derek Eusebio could get 15 touches, 20 touches this season.
I think you're probably looking at every single one of the three running backs probably having about 10 to 15 catches as well.
And they also can all be used in that way, which is a great thing.
You think about like last year with like Scat, it's like, you're going to give Scat the ball. Like you give Scat the ball a lot because he's your best player.
Yeah.
Like this year,
it's Scat.
It's Sam Leavitt and it's Jordyn Tyson. Right. And as much as Kenny has built his identity around running the football, and he's still going to do that, and he has great running backs, and we have confidence in this running back room, the bread and butter of this offense is going to be Sam Leavitt, and it's going to be Jordyn Tyson. But it's all going to start with Sam Leavitt. I actually would say I don't know, I'm going to say I'm put money on it. I don't have money to put down, but I think he's going to get over 400 attempts this year.
Get your money up, not your funny up, son. That's all I got to say.
What was your question of the day? Sorry for derailing.
No, you're good. It's all like a part of the conversation. But I think, again, when we're talking about NAU and maybe some of these personnel changes or some unique schemes that we may see against NAU, I think the big question is who's going to be a difference maker in the season opener for ASU? Is it going to be a Derek Eusebio? Is it going to be a Malik McLean? Is it going to be a Raleek Brown? Is it going to be somebody on defense like a Clayton Smith? I want to get the chat's answers. I want to get your guys' thoughts on who you think could be a difference maker against NAU, and like really think about that question, because I don't think it's as easy to say as like, oh, it's going to be Jordyn Tyson, right? Because if all things go correctly, Jordyn Tyson is only playing 2 quarters of football on Saturday.
So I think there's a better way to phrase this then, because
stupid Totri
he loves being
stupid Totri game.
He's like, actually, this sucks.
No, it doesn't suck. But hear me out. If you need a difference maker against NAU, that's a problem. You don't need a difference maker. I think the better way to phrase this is who's going to stand out.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I mean, know who I'm going to say.
It's
It's gotta be.
Do you want a top 3 receiver to be standing out that much?
I think
if it's not JT, then I think that's fine.
I think it's gonna be JT, and I do think it's like Malik is gonna kind of be in that point where I think Malik and Jaron are both gonna get a lot of run in week 1 because they are competing for that 3rd spot and that starting spot, and I think they're both gonna get a chance to showcase what they can do, and I think both of them are the first names that pop to mind along with Raleek, but I'm gonna go with Malik because I think that he's going to rip off at least 2 huge plays in the first half.
It'd be fun. I like this answer, and I'm going to copy it. My PNW brother, JBJ. Mm-hmm. I think Jason Brown Jr. is going to get the workload in the second half, and we're going to see how good he can be. Because I remember seeing him early in the year last year, and yeah, he didn't do much, especially statistics-wise. But just some of the runs and the way he carried the ball, like, that's a big dude for being a true freshman last year.
If you go back to last year, do you guys remember who was probably the biggest standout offensively in that week 1 game against Wyoming?
Is it Kyson?
It was Kyson. Kyson was, he had 25 yards on the ground, but he was the team's leading receiver with 73 receiving yards and a touchdown. Defensively, Justin Watley scored a touchdown. Cyrus Viaseu scored a touchdown. So I'm thinking more like those types of players. I think, in all honesty, I think Raleek Brown is my answer here, as maybe the standout or somebody that is going to like just look miles better than the competition on Saturday. And I think everybody on this team should look miles better. But I think when Raleek gets the ball in his hand, maybe it's just because we haven't seen him in a while in like game action. He's going to look like a special player.
Miles per hour better, for sure. Like when you think of SEC talent against every other talent, especially in the past, not as much now, you think of the strength and like how like you just get overpowered. And that's why there was so much less parity a couple years, 10 years ago. But what you think of, what you can think of now when it comes to these two teams playing each other, nobody on NAU has anybody close to as fast as Raleek Brown.
No.
Like it's just not close.
I think if we're going to look at the defensive end, I feel like it's Jacob Kingaika hours.
You think?
Yeah, give me 2 sacks for Kingaika against NAU.
I like one of the edge rushers to just go off.
Does it go crazy?
Like, you know who I'm looking at?
Elijah O'Neal or Prince? Okay.
Prince with a chip on his shoulder if he loses that starting spot. I mean,
potentially.
They showed that picture on ESPN during the Week 0 game of Prince doing the double thumbs down to whatever Iowa State player that was on the ESPN broadcast. And I got so juiced up at 8 in the morning or at 9 in the morning at a casino. I was like, let's go.
I think defensively, I mean, again, I don't know how much the defensive starters are going to play. I think Clayton Smith is going to have a big game. This NAU offensive line is not nearly the size of a Division I starting offensive line. Clayton Smith's a former 5-star that was at Oklahoma before completely transitioning and changing his game at Arizona State. Like, he is somebody that I think when we're talking the end of the game, he's your 2-3 sack, forced fumble, 7 tackle kind of guy.
Yeah. I wonder a random name that comes to mind just because he is so strong. Zach Swanson.
Yeah.
Like, I think
in the
Zach,
rotation.
I think Zach Swanson in the second half could just give the Lumberjacks hell. Zach Swanson kind of looks like a lumberjack.
He does kind of look like a lumberjack. I don't know if he would take that as a compliment.
Zach the Lumberjack Swanson.
Zach the Lumberjack Swanson goes crazy.
That's a UFC fight.
It does. It goes crazy.
Lumberjack.
Yeah, that absolutely goes.
Chopping down QBs.
Crazy. Sharon, yeah, it's going to be a rough one for NAU. Make sure you hit that like button. You hit the subscribe button. You drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Jay in the chat saying, sleeping on Kanye Udo. We're not. I promise you we're not. I said earlier, I think he's going to score more touchdowns than anybody offensively in 2025. Like, he will have his opportunity to touch the football this year.
I think that's an underrated person to talk about as a standout in this game. Like,
yeah.
I said it a couple of weeks ago. Are we just forgetting that how much production he's bringing from Army?
He was dominant.
I don't know how he can surprise people, but he might.
Well, and he's not going to get that same workload, but also opposing defenses aren't going to know to just load the box every single time that the ball is snapped.
Well, they won't be able to.
Right, because you're going to actually have a weapon around you. Like, and you're going to have a quarterback who could throw the ball instead of just running the ball every time. Like, I think Kanye has a chance to end up, I think, being I think all the running backs have a chance to do this. But Kanye definitely has a chance to be like certified RB1 by the end of the year if he can produce on a similar level they did at Army in like a better situation with a better O-line blocking for him and a better quarterback, either handing him or throwing him the ball. The only difference is the competition that he's going to be playing is also going to be a lot harder. But I think that he is the type of guy that's going to have just a couple monster games.
He absolutely will. I think part of it again is like Kanye is still coming from a very new system. Marcus Arroyo, I think, with the funniest comment or quote of the day today in the post practice scrums discussing like the transition from Army system to ASU system. He said, quote, "It's like ordering food in some other country in another language. You're sweating it out for a minute before you figure out what chips and salsa sounds like." Like, that's really like part of the situation for Kanye, right? Is you are going from a completely different system. And I think it's easy sometimes to just be like, oh, this guy rushed for 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns at a previous school, like a run heavy offense. He's going to come here and do that immediately. Like, there is so much that changes for him just about the game coming to ASU and working in this offense. But I promise you, none of us here are sleeping on sane Kanye.
By the way, Shay, if you missed it, we did a Hot Ones with Kanye 3 months ago. Maybe even
was
longer.
it 3 months ago?
I
don't know. I don't even know.
Ago.
I don't know how
Check
long
that
ago
out. It was fun.
Good dude. Really good
very,
dude.
Very nice guy.
Look, we have been teasing sound all afternoon. I promise you we are going to get to the sound from the ASU players and on the NAU side of things after this break.
You know, I said it earlier that I can't really put my money where my mouth is. My finances aren't where they need to be right now, but they're going to. And I promise
Soon,
you,
brother.
and I promise everybody that they're going to because of Monarch Money. Listen, it's so easy to overspend on shopping or even, groceries or whatever it might be you're spending money on. It's a lot easier for it to go out than for it to go in. And that's why Monarch Money is the best place for you to not just analyze your spending, find your unexpected spending pattern, learn how much you can max out in your 401k and realize how stressful juggling everything is, and then figuring out it's easy with Monarch Money. It's for busy people with busy lives. It's a finance app that people actually use. Forbes' best app for couples, named the best budgeting app of 2025 by the Wall Street Journal, and it has a passionate Reddit community of over 34,000 users that shaped what the product has become. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code PHNX at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off. That's good money. Your first year at monarchmoney.com with code PHNX.
Look, guys, I want to tell you about our friends over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. I call them our friends because we've been doing so many events over at Wild Horse Pass over the last several months, several years, and I'm excited for another day of events that we have this Thursday. We've got a ton going on. PHNX Cardinals residency over at Wild Horse Pass. You've got the PHNX Cardinals live show. You got kind of like a town hall at a certain point. And then, of course, you got the PHNX Fantasy Football Draft. I'm looking forward to that almost as much as I'm looking forward to ASU kicking off the season on Saturday. It's going to be a great, great time, a ton of fun. Make sure you come out on Thursday, but not just Thursday. Maybe go Wednesday. Maybe spend your weekend there because they have a ton of things to do over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos, not just Wild Horse Pass, but all of their locations. Something that you always got to remember is you do you at Gila River Resorts Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for more details.
Also, diehards get a free drink when they show up there. But
be a diehard.
We have a diehard sale going on, and I love our diehard sales. But
Sun Devil sale.
I have a little bit of a beef because it's a football kickoff and it's Cardinals themed. But here's the thing: it's ASU week here. Okay, this is Arizona State football week, but you can still get a diehard membership for a year for $36. You get a free football club shirt. When you do that, a discount to all of our events, access to our website, and an ad-free experience and all of our content. Plus, you get access to the Diehard Discord, where we're always talking during the week, during game day. The diehards know exactly who our guest is going to be and have known for a little bit now. Tomorrow, it's the best place to be an Arizona State fan, and you could do it for a cup of coffee a month.
Literally a cup of
coffee. Like a bad cup of coffee.
I don't even know. Look, we got certain things that we got to tell you when it comes to the diehard stuff. But honestly, when it comes to being a PHNX diehard, it is such a great community in there. Yes. And I can really only speak to the ASU chat. That's the one that I'm the most active in. And Sharon and Donald and Short Bus and Will and everybody that's in there. There's so much more than just Arizona State conversation. If you're looking to just be a part of something and be a part of a great community and build some great relationships, that's the place to do it. And to do it for a cup of coffee a month it's an insane offer, especially considering all the extra stuff you get when you become a PHNX diehard. That's right. David is also a PHNX diehard. Former PHNX intern, David Rodish.
Also, it's you're right with the ASU thing, but also I'm always in the Suns chat too, and we have it for everything. It's not just even for Arizona sports. There's an anime channel, right? There's a movie channel. There's a reality
UFC
TV
channel.
There's a UFC channel.
There's a make fun of Erik Ruby. Oh,
wait, what?
You're not invited.
Oh, shh, dude. Is that where you come up with all the nicknames? What are you doing?
Yeah, PHNX diehard. Do that today.
Yeah, Sharon literally loves being a diehard so much that she has purchased diehard memberships at full price for other people.
Yeah.
So has Short Bus, but he made me wear a comically large hat.
He didn't make you.
Well, I'm for the people. I wore a comically large hat.
Dude, we even have
so
an
that we
Iowa
give
State
somebody.
fan in like
We have an Iowa
who
State
just
fan?
loves ball and community. You know,
we
Like-
also we gave away tickets, and by we I believe it was David in the chat here, David Buck, who gave away tickets to the BYU game last year. We gave those away to diehards only. Like, you get your money back and then some by being a diehard. It's just it's a really, really great place. Plus we do like, I do like random AMAs and like little like, hey, come talk with us. It's a really fun time. Plus
It's
exclusive content.
It's super, super dope. Again, make sure you hit that like button, you hit the subscribe button, and you drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Do we want to get to the NAU sound, or do we want to just focus on the Arizona State stuff today? Because we are a little thin on time.
We can do the NAU stuff tomorrow.
We'll do the NAU stuff tomorrow as a collective. We feel good about that, Deli Man.
It's fine.
Cool.
I'm
as
not
long
gonna
as nobody
sleep
has any
tonight.
qualms with that in the chat, then we will go ahead and get to some of that Arizona State sound that we have for you guys. I think, again, when we talk about the Sun Devils and the number 11 team in the country, opening up the 2025 college football season against NAU, everybody likely wants to talk about this offense, Jordyn Tyson, Sam Levitt, the running backs. And I think that's rightfully so. But a big thing for me is like watching this defense today at practice and over the last several weeks, like I do not think that the NAU offense will be able to cross the 50-yard line at any point in this game on Saturday. Genuinely, I think that's how dominant this defense is. But that's just like our expectations, our thoughts and opinions on what ASU's defense can do against NAU. Got the chance to chat with 100-Yard Landlord after practice today, and this is what he said are his expectations for the ASU defense on Saturday.
To execute, to dominate, to make a statement of, what type of defense we're going to play and what type of team we're going to be the whole year. Mentally just being locked in, like I said, executing the plays, everything Coach Ward calls, executing it, and, just playing fast physical, getting back out there and kind of picking up where we left off, but turning it up a notch. Everybody seen that defense last year running around physical, so this year, we want them to feel us in the stands like, man, I'm so glad I'm not on the other team. So that's the image that we try to portray on defense this year, and, just starts with executing and dominating.
When he said that, I was like, okay, that's what I needed to hear. They need to feel us in the stands.
Yeah.
That's the type of defense that they're going to be playing here in 2025.
It's a statement game.
Yeah.
As funny as it is, we talk about, it's NAU and, you're supposed to win this game. Like, these are the type of games that you make statements. I want somebody to open up the ESPN app and scroll through the scores of the top 25 for the day and go, holy crap, Arizona State beat NAU 72-0.
I love 72-0, man.
I'm just saying, like, this is your statement game. This is your we're that much better than you game, right? And the defense is a huge part of that. Like, shut them down, and don't just shut them down to the point where they only score 14 points and it's all garbage time. Like, no, like, don't even let them get close.
No,
like, make somebody quit football on Saturday, forever.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, I can't.
Make somebody go, I can't do this
it anymore.
Third stringer on NAU gets taken down, or their ankle's broken by Derek Eusebio, and it's like, okay, you know what? I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
I feel like you're
make them quit.
Over the last several days, several shows, your level of violence has gone up.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. I know you are, but I just want to make sure like everything's okay.
You guys are gonna be walking into the NAU game and the metal detector's gonna go off, and they're gonna be like, "Sir, you can't bring a knife in here."
Yeah, like, we're good? Are we taking?
No, no. I've been waiting since January.
Oh my gosh, for football and fried chicken. Man.
It's time to knock somebody's head off.
Yeah, I mean, see, like we're decapitating people.
It's time
here.
for Ghost Rouser to change somebody's life.
Totri's talking about like stacking the box, and Erik's talking about
murder. Literal murder.
Erik's talking about homicide.
It's time for Zach Swanson to take out an entire offensive line.
Opening up for Murder on the Light Rail is homicide in the football stadium.
I forgot about Murder on the Light Rail. Was that a game that we played? Oh my gosh.
Murder on the Light Rail?
What a time. Oh my goodness. It was before your time.
Man.
Oh, Murder
before
on the
the violence.
Before Erik Ruby's Legal But Nasty was,
I don't
of
like
course,
that.
the Deli Man's Murder on the Light Rail.
From the creator of that brain.
Oh my goodness. I can't. I can't. Look.
I need football. We need to talk about football.
We do need to get back to
you want
some
to hear
football.
from Ben AU?
We can we can hear from Ben Coleman on what he expects from this NAU defensive line, a group that does like to throw a bunch of different looks out at opposing offenses. This is what the ASU center had to say about that competition on Saturday.
On their experience, they're like a lot similar to us. They've played a lot of ball, and they know what they're doing. Anytime you can play confident in your own scheme, that gives you a lot of confidence in the game. So that's something you have to look out for, because those can be sneaky guys, because they have a little bit of rule break just like we do. The older you get, the more you play in the system. You have certain rule breaks, like we always talk about. If you take it, you better make it. It's kind of a rule on defense. So they're smart. They know their blocks. They know the blocking schemes of the O-line. So we look forward to playing them.
Just, I don't know, man. It's NAU.
Dude, he would be such a good auctioneer.
He would. He's just a great speaker, all the way through.
Can we get him a new practice jersey, though? Because that thing is torn up.
It's torn. When you play college football, as long as Ben Coleman, you're bound to have some stuff go wrong with your jerseys. Look, I think this is, and I said it, I think, on yesterday's show. That's the matchup for me that I'm most interested to see on Saturday, is the Arizona State offensive line against the NAU defensive line. When you try and scour the depth chart of the roster for the Lumberjacks and you look at maybe their strength, it is on that defensive line. They do have a lot of veterans up front on defense. Interested to see the things that they throw out at Ben Coleman specifically as a first-time starting center. Again, Jamito Bigbo, going up a level, right, from Texas State to Arizona State. What does that look like on his end? And then the tackles, right? Max Ahanachor, and then, of course, Josh Atkins coming off really good seasons. A lot of eyes on Ahanachor as potentially a NFL type of offensive lineman. You need to go out there against NAU and have an NFL type of offensive lineman game. Pancakes, creating open lanes for those running backs. And taking care of business up front. That's the matchup for me.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, again, just listening to Ben Coleman, he knows that this NAU defensive line, regardless of quote unquote size, there is going to be some things that they're going to throw out to make that ASU offensive line really think.
And I think that this is something that, along with obviously how Ben Coleman performs, I'm hoping that there's a cascading effect that he's able to be impactful and calm and collected at center this week and just get some game reps.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's kind of the thing with Ben. It's you're playing a position you've never played before. And whether the competition level is lower and even if the defensive line is well coached and smart and their experience, right? You should still have no problem containing them. If you're able just to go out there and, in basketball terms, see one go through the hoop. Right?
Yeah.
Just see one go in, feel good, get some good snaps to Sam, have the offense run smoothly. And now it's okay, this is not an in theory thing anymore. This is, okay, I can watch my game film. I can think back to how I reacted in the moment, because I've brought this up multiple times with him, but he's so smart that I'm hoping it's not so smart to his detriment to where he's thinking about too many things. And sometimes it's before something happens, you're thinking about every possible different outcome. And then you get put in the moment and you're playing and it all calms down and you're just focused on what's in front of you. And I'm hoping that that's what Ben Coleman gets from getting some game reps against NAU and then feels good from winning those reps. And hopefully the offense is able to put up a couple quick and easy touchdowns in that first half. And he's okay, I feel good. I feel comfortable. Let's keep that rolling into next week against Mississippi State. Now let's get a week of practice in where I can look at my film and I can think back to my game experiences before I'm on the road against, yes, a lower level SEC team, but still an SEC team
on the road
who you beat last year, who now is making your game their blackout game and is going to try to upset you at home, right? And that's going to be a much different environment for Ben Coleman and his offensive line than this week against NAU. So hopefully, it's enough to test them and make them feel good walking out of the game on Saturday.
Agreed. Look, we've heard from some key players for Arizona State on the back end, Xavion Alford, up front on that offensive line, of course, Ben Coleman, but maybe the star of the show, Jordyn Tyson. What does he see on tape from the NAU Lumberjacks? This is JT on NAU.
Corners are very good. Long safeties are very good too, but we're expected to win this game. We're expected to win this game by a lot, so that's what we're trying to go do. But I think it's kind of similar to last year, and then it's just go to Mississippi State. Texas State comes here. It's kind of similar to last
year. I love honestly, JT getting up there and being we're expected to win this game by a lot. How all offseason it's been, no expectations, blah, 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 blah. He knows they're playing an FCS team. He knows ASU's the number 11 team in the country. No more dancing around it. He knows that this should be an ass kicking on Saturday at your house, right? Get all your friends. We're barbecuing Lumberjack. Like, that's what it needs to be on Saturday. JT knows that, and I really respect him going up there and just being like, look, you know, they've got good size at corner, they got length, but like at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. We're expected to go win this game by a lot of points, and that's exactly what we're going to try and do on Saturday.
And that's the thing where it's like, I get the expectations aren't real and take your opponent seriously, and I think week in, week out in the Big 12 or even against Mississippi State, or I guess like Texas State is somewhere in between the NAU and Mississippi State for me. Like, yeah, like you can't go in and say, well, we're automatically going to win. But let's not act like everybody here is stupid, right? You're the number 11 team in the country, and you don't think that there are internal expectations to beat like the piss out of NAU? Like, that's exactly what you need to be doing. That's what you should be doing. You think Alabama goes in playing against an FCS team and they're like, yeah, you know, like we just got to make sure he doesn't stay close and do it. No, they walk into that saying we should win by 60, and they should. Like, if you want to be a blue blood, if you want to be the elite of the elite, these are the types of games that, not that you shouldn't worry about in the fact that you take your foot off the gas, but that you should be so confident in yourself and your preparation and your individual talent level and your team aspect and everything that we've spent the last 7 months talking about, that you go into this and you say, we should win by 40.
Yeah.
Because we prepared seriously, because we're going to give it 110%, we should beat them by 40.
Glenn with a comment. Tyson pretty much said they dog water. If only you knew, buddy. If only you knew. I'll leave it at that. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Look, I think it's only fair we've waited until the very last minute to tell everybody. Again, everybody that's a PHNX diehard already knows who our guest is for tomorrow's show. What do you say? Go ahead and tell everybody right about now.
Only if they hit the like button.
Only if they hit the like button. What are we at like count-wise right now?
We're at 13. We could definitely do better than that.
We could definitely do better
than that.
We're going to sit here awkwardly until we get...
Yeah, no, go ahead, guys.
Until we get 20 likes.
Go ahead. Hit the like.
If we get 20 likes, we'll tell you who the guest is.
Yeah.
Let's just wait.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit here.
Yeah, we shouldn't just sit in silence.
I don't want to sit here in
silence,
silence,
come
man.
on.
So we're talking about a lot of fried chicken. What's your other favorite guilty pleasure?
Fried chicken's not a guilty pleasure, man.
Yeah, yes,
it's definitely not a guilty pleasure, man.
What do you, dude? It's horrible for you.
It's again everything in moderation. Like
yes,
it's like it's like I don't know,
guilty pleasure.
I don't know
if
that's a guilty pleasure though.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like a guilty pleasure.
Fast food is
like,
guilty pleasure, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean maybe.
So what's your favorite one of those? If you don't want to call it that.
Oh man, I really enjoy cheesecake.
Dude, that's a great pull.
Like really enjoy cheesecake.
Dude, you know what really rocks?
Like
cheesecake ice cream.
Cheesecake
like
ice
they
cream.
put like a piece of cheesecake in the ice cream and like blend it up.
Oh, I've never had that.
Oh my god!
I've seen recently like
Incredible.
there's a cinnamon roll, but like the inside of it is like cheesecake filling.
Oh,
it's like I mean it's a tummy ache waiting to happen.
Speaking of cinnamon, I found a new late night snack that I would have loved if I was like just OG'd out of my mind or pure edibles out of my mind. Like, oh my god, you ready for this?
Let's hear it.
It's just peanut butter and honey on bread. Easy. That's normal. Dash of cinnamon.
Really?
Literally tastes like heaven.
That type of like snack is so good. It's so good.
So good.
I'll tell you what I love before I tell you who the guest is because we have 20 likes.
Appreciate it, guys.
When I am dabbling in pure edibles, do you know what hits? And this is going to sound crazy. Bear with me. The number one food that I love to have when I am under the influence? Kiwis. Kiwis go crazy. Yes, there's something about it, dude. There's something about
fruit's a great high snack. Fruit is a great high snack.
Because like the citrus, it's intense and
it's like wow, like
Dude,
every
nice little honey
taste
crisp
bud
apple.
I have is on fire.
Nice grapes.
Ooh,
nice
yeah,
ripe grapes.
big grape guy. Big grape
Dude,
guy.
grapes rock. Okay, are we ready?
Yeah. Drum roll, please. Your guest for the PHNX Sun Devils show on Wednesday is none other than Arizona State Athletic Director Graham Rossini coming in studio tomorrow. Get him for about 45 minutes, so he'll be here for pretty much an entire show on Wednesday. It's going to be an absolute blast. if you're a PHNX diehard, make sure you throw in any potential questions that you want us to ask the Arizona State AD. Throw that in the diehard Discord, and we will see if we can get to them tomorrow. He is coming in before the show, so it will be a taped interview that will get played on Wednesday. That's why I recommend, if you're a PHNX diehard, you throw those questions in to the diehard Discord. That way we can get those out to Graham Rossini, and then you can watch it live on Wednesday at 1 o'clock, normal time.
We kind of gave you a hint when we were talking about desserts and stuff as to who the guest was going to be. It's Graham.
Love it.
This should be super, super fun. He's always so fun to talk to, and
great.
The passion. I think there's no better time to talk to him, and no better time to be a diehard. And I mean, this is just so exciting. Tomorrow's show is going to be exciting, and then we're off Thursday. Friday is the first game preview show. We're going to do heat index, score prediction, 7-0 on the table. And then Saturday, man, post game. What a time to be alive. We made it.
Arrived. Legal but nasty. Guys, that is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devils show.
There was no reason
Hit the
to
like
put that
button,
in
the
there.
subscribe button on your
Don't
way
cut me out.
If you enjoyed today's content, give the program a follow on social at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow this guy, the guy who's just obsessed with homicide, at Erik Ruby. That's Erik with a K. You can follow the Deli Man at Shane D.
Serial killer Ruby kind of goes hard.
No. Not letting that one catch on.
Not begging you, just for your own benefit, asking you to become a PHNX diehard right now for only $36 and getting a question in on our members only Discord for Graham Rossini tomorrow's interview, as always.
And we'll see you guys on Wednesday alongside Graham Rossini. In the meantime, go Devils. Peace.
Yo,